Ruja Ignatova, the so-called Cryptoqueen, had a plan to make OneCoin the next Bitcoin. But what if this was all an elaborate scam? No blockchain, no real currency, just millions of people pouring money into an illusion. How did she pull off one of the biggest scams in crypto history? And where did she disappear once everything fell apart? It wasn't just the tech or the hype that made OneCoin a trap. It was the people who trusted it. This wasn't your typical crime. People invested everything they had, believing they were building their future, only to find out they'd been part of a pyramid scheme. But what was the small detail that ruined everything and led to OneCoin's fall? Stay tuned to the end to find out how Ignatova managed to disappear into thin air, and why some believe she could still be out there, living off the billions she scammed. In 2016, a confident and charismatic businesswoman named Ruja Ignatova took the stage at Wembley Football Arena in the UK. The crowd cheered as she passionately declared that her creation, OneCoin, was set to become the world's biggest cryptocurrency. She boldly claimed that it would outshine Bitcoin, so much so that people would soon forget Bitcoin even existed. By this time, many in the UK had already poured nearly 30 million euros into OneCoin, drawn in by the promise and the hype surrounding it. Events like the one at Wembley only fueled this excitement, with people hoping to get in on the ground floor of what seemed like the next big thing in the digital currency world. Bitcoin's success had left a lasting impression on many. It had made huge profits for those who invested early, and now, people who had missed that wave didn't want to lose out again. So, from 2014 to 2017, investors from all corners of the globe, from Hong Kong to Pakistan, Canada, and even Palestine, poured over 4 billion euros into OneCoin, hoping for their piece of the pie. But by 2017, the cracks in the OneCoin story began to show. Investors became desperate as they struggled to turn their OneCoin into real money. In Lisbon, Portugal, a group of frustrated investors gathered, hoping that Ruja Ignatova would explain what was happening, but she never showed up. Since that day, Ruja vanished without a trace. Authorities worldwide, including the FBI, have been searching for her, investigating what is now considered one of the biggest cryptocurrency scams in history. Who was this mysterious woman, and how did she manage to pull off such a convincing scam? To understand that, we have to go back to the beginning of her story. In 2014, Ruja Ignatova teamed up with Carl Sebastian Greenwood to launch what they claimed would be the next big thing in cryptocurrency. They called it OneCoin. At first glance, you would think it would function like other cryptocurrencies, using a decentralized system called blockchain. For context, blockchain is like a giant digital ledger where all cryptocurrency transactions are recorded and verified, and it operates without the need for a central authority like a government or a single entity. But OneCoin didn't quite follow that model. Instead of mining coins on a decentralized network, investors were required to sign up for memberships. These memberships came with hefty price tags, ranging from 140 euros to as much as 118,000 euros. The bigger the investment, the wealthier you were promised to become. And here's how it worked. With each membership package, investors would receive educational courses on topics like cryptocurrencies, trading, and investing. This was supposedly the core of OneCoin's business. Along with these courses, members also received tokens that could be used to purchase OneCoins. These OneCoins, Ignatova promised, could be exchanged for cash on a special platform the company had created. People were sold on the idea that they'd soon be able to splurge on luxuries like Gucci bags, Lamborghinis, and dream villas. The more people who joined, the stronger OneCoin would become, driving up its value on a blockchain. At least, that's what the investors were led to believe. It sounded like a foolproof get-rich-quick scheme, and some people were indeed getting rich, or so it seemed. But there was another layer to this operation. Investors were encouraged to bring in more people, friends, family, and anyone they could find. By selling OneCoins to others, they were building a massive network and, in turn, pumping more money into the system. The sparkle of OneCoin's promise was irresistible, but things were far from what they seemed. Let's break it down simply. Imagine you invest 1,000 euros into a OneCoin package. You get artificially inflating their worth. Even the educational materials they sold to investors were mostly plagiarized. Despite these revelations, many investors refused to believe the scam. Ignatova had built so much trust that even when cryptocurrency experts tried to warn people, it was hard to convince them. Governments around the world, including Bulgaria, Finland, and Norway, began cracking down on OneCoin, and by 2016, even the Hungarian central bank declared it a pyramid scheme. Yet, investors still held on to hope, unwilling to believe their Cryptoqueen could be a fraud. It wasn't until OneCoin's private exchange, xcoinx.com, began to fall apart that things started to unravel. Investors who had been promised they could convert their coins into cash suddenly found they couldn't. The reason? OneCoin had been operating like a classic pyramid scheme, paying older investors with money from newer ones. When the funds dried up, the entire operation started to crumble. OneCoin had a clever way of keeping investors from pulling out all their money at once. The exchange set daily limits on how much of their OneCoin balance they could sell, which helped maintain the illusion of stability. But at the start of 2017, everything took a sharp turn. OneCoin suddenly shut down its exchange, claiming it was undergoing maintenance. Investors could no longer cash out, and strangely enough, the exchange never reopened. This left investors in a state of confusion and panic. The only way to get answers was to attend the OneCoin event in Lisbon, where Ruja Ignatova was supposed to make an appearance, but she never showed up. That's when the truth started to sink in. Ignatova had vanished without a trace, leaving her co-conspirators to face the consequences. Carl Sebastian Greenwood, Ignatova's partner, didn't escape the fallout. Last year, he was sentenced to 20 years in prison and ordered to pay $300 million. But Ignatova? She seemed to have disappeared off the face of the earth, with speculation that a Bulgarian drug lord she had hired for protection might have killed her. Despite the rumors, there was no solid proof of her death. The FBI continues to keep her on their list of top 10 most wanted fugitives. So, could Ruja Ignatova still be alive? It's hard to say. For all we know, she could be out there living under the radar, possibly faking her own death to throw off investigators, while enjoying the billions she swindled, maybe even relaxing on a yacht somewhere far from the spotlight. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys soon.